Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a tired caregiver out there just running on empty, trying to negotiate with a toddler who absolutely refuses to wear pants, and you're just completely exhausted from constant power struggles, I see you. It is exhausting. But today, we're flipping the script. We are going to look at a highly practical playbook designed to transform your household dynamic from total chaos to calm, and we're going to do it all without the yelling or the constant punishment.
So, to get us there and to help lower everyone's cognitive load, we've synthesized 24 practical tips from our source material into 5 really manageable pillars: connection before correction, how to give instructions, choices and logical consequences, the power of praise, and managing emotions and expectations. Let's jump right into Pillar 1, connection before correction. Okay, before we can ask anything of our kids or lay down any sort of ground rules, we have to recognize a fundamental truth here. Children cooperate so much more willingly with parents they actually feel connected to. And building that connection, it doesn't require hours of your day, just 15 minutes. 15 minutes of daily one-on-one time, whether that's building a fort, reading, or honestly just listening without checking your phone, builds the ultimate foundation for cooperation. It's about being fully present and showing unconditional affection, so they know without a doubt that they're loved regardless of their behavior. And this brilliantly illustrates how a really simple shift in your language can completely change your child's receptiveness. Instead of throwing out a heavy, negative, absolute like, "you never listen," which, let's be real, just puts them immediately on the defensive, try a collaborative, loving statement, saying something like, "I love spending time with you. Now let's work together to clean up." Literally changes the entire tone of the room.
Moving right along to Pillar 2, how to give instructions. We have all been there. You're asking your kid to do something for the 5th time. Your voice is getting louder and louder while they just stay glued to a tablet like a little zombie. It is incredibly draining. So the golden rule here is to never ever give instructions to a distracted child. Stop yelling from the kitchen. Instead, use these 4 really specific steps to ensure your kid knows they are being spoken directly to. Walk over, say their name, make eye contact, and speak calmly.
Once you actually have their attention, you've got to keep it simple. I know it's so tempting to launch into this long, rambling lecture about how a messy room attracts bugs and how you are not their maid. You have to resist that instinct. Contrast that huge lecture with the effectiveness of just a simple, crystal clear command: please put your toys in the basket. Just one instruction at a time works best.
And here's a critical piece of this: avoid repeating yourself. If you repeat a request 5 times, you aren't actually being patient. You're just teaching your child that they don't actually have to respond the first time. Give one clear instruction, wait a few seconds, and if needed, calmly, physically guide them to complete the task. Okay, let's dive into this next one. Pillar 3, choices and logical consequences. Let's face it, even with absolutely perfect instructions, your child is going to push back or just ignore you sometimes. How we handle those moments of defiance, that is where the real parenting magic happens. First things first, we need to ditch the old authoritarian classic, "because I said so." Highlighting the actual reason behind rules builds genuine cooperation through understanding. For example, instead of just barking a command, try, "We hold hands in the parking lot because cars can be dangerous." It respects their intelligence and it explains the why. Another absolutely fantastic tool from the source material is offering limited choices. Instead of commanding, "Go brush your teeth right now," ask them, "Would you like to brush your teeth before or after putting on your pajamas?" Offering small choices like which shirt to wear or the order of bedtime tasks, it gives children this vital sense of control over their lives. It lets you completely bypass that tyrant toddler power struggle while still leading exactly to your desired outcome. But, when rules are inevitably broken, we need to rely on natural and logical consequences. This simply means the consequence relates directly to the behavior. If they draw on the wall with crayons, well, they help clean the wall. If they throw a toy repeatedly, the toy gets put away. This is vastly different from empty threats, which, by the way, you should completely avoid, or taking away totally unrelated privileges, like canceling a playdate just because they didn't eat their broccoli. Keep this incredibly powerful parenting mantra from our source text firmly in your mind. Consequences should teach, not humiliate. You can and absolutely should stay firm, but never use shame as a form of discipline. The ultimate goal is long-term learning, not just temporary embarrassment.
Which brings us to Pillar 4, the power of praise.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it taps into a basic psychological truth. Children will repeat the behaviors that receive the most attention from you. If you only ever give them big, loud reactions when they mess up, they're just going to keep messing up to get your attention. So you want to praise the exact behavior you want to see more of. Parents should aim to give several positive comments for every single correction they hand out. Focus on praising their effort, responsibility, and kindness with specific phrases like, "Thank you for listening the first time," rather than just tossing out a generic "good job."
And when you do inevitably need to criticize or correct, and let's be honest with ourselves, we all lose our cool sometimes, you must focus strictly on correcting the behavior. Never attack the child's underlying character. Instead of saying something really damaging out of sheer frustration like, "You're so lazy," try, "Your homework still needs to be finished." Address the action, absolutely, but always protect the child's self-esteem.
And finally, our fifth pillar, managing emotions and expectations.
For all you exhausted parents out there, take a deep breath and just remember, your child's brain is literally still developing. Quite often, it's actually our own parental reactions that end up dictating the entire mood of the household. We have to set realistic expectations based on their actual developmental stage. Look, a 3-year-old cannot sit quietly through a fancy hour-long dinner. A 6-year-old will simply forget your instructions. Expecting a toddler to act like a miniature adult or expecting a teenager not to seek independence, that is just a recipe for an endless power struggle.
One of the best ways to manage these daily expectations is through predictable routines, like a structured evening flow. Think dinner, bath, pajamas, story, bed. When you combine this kind of predictability with advanced warnings for transitions, like giving them a heads up, "Hey, 5 more minutes then it's time to leave," it drastically reduces arguments. Because honestly, children deeply dislike sudden changes.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the common pitfalls we all fall into. Things like yelling instead of teaching or making big threats we have absolutely no intention of enforcing. But a huge one here is being inconsistent. If you enforce the no iPads at the dinner table rule on Tuesday, but then you just give in on Wednesday because you're tired, well, suddenly rules become negotiable. And that inconsistency actually creates deep insecurity in children.
So the crucial point is this: calm authority is always more powerful than loud authority. Children mirror our emotional state. If we want them to stay calm, we have to model that emotional regulation ourselves. We literally must model the respect, the honesty, and the calm demeanor that we expect to see from them.
Which leads us to our final provocative question to end this explainer. Is our goal to make them obey out of fear? Or is it to help them develop self-control, responsibility, and respect? I'm going to leave you with that thought, because the goal isn't perfect compliance through intimidation. It's raising capable, emotionally healthy humans. I really hope you feel empowered to go out and apply these practical tips today. Celebrate those small successes and always prioritize progress over perfection. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you next time.